Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday, August 21st. Today is our second day of PD. No students yet today, but we are just in our building. Well, we were in our building yesterday too, but it's just our middle school teachers today, and we'll be doing a lot of prep for the day. I do have about a half hour though this morning to work on some stuff, so let me show you what I'm doing. I did go ahead and copy the little signs I'll be posting, and I did that on this blue paper. And then I also copied some of the leaves that will be added to the tree that students will write on as well. Right now we still have about 15 minutes till our workshop starts this morning. It's going to be a lot of just school stuff, prep for the year, sort of administrative things, also some team meeting time. So that's kind of what's on the agenda for today. There should be a bit of time to work on a few things for the room. I definitely could stick around like after school to get more stuff done, but because tomorrow, even though it is the first day with students, it's very limited interaction with students. I'll only be with one of my groups, and most of the times actually in an assembly. I feel like I don't need to have everything around the room perfect. You know, I think there is a lot of talk about, you know, finishing touches and wanting to have it be as perfect as possible before the kids get here, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary. I think maybe that's too much pressure on ourselves that we don't actually need to put on ourselves. Wednesday we have 3 hours in the room, and then Thursday I have the curriculum night or open house night in the evening. And so with that in mind, I'm going to be here until evening, so there will be many hours here at school. So I think it's definitely about taking time for yourself. I'll have the time on Wednesday and Thursday, so as long as things are, you know, in good enough shape in the room, like, I think that's fine, and that's kind of my vision. And that's where I'll take care of a lot of the, you know, like paperwork kind of stuff and forms that I'm getting ready. Pro tip, you probably already know this, but in case you don't, in Google there's a little like task list that you can put together. If you just go up to the top of your screen, it says mail, you can actually go to tasks, and that's gonna open up this document. It's very easy to add tasks if you're trying to like digitize your to-do list. I don't use this every day, but since I do have a few different like room things, that's what I've got here. And whenever you finish one, like I got this one done, you can check it off, it crosses out for you, and then also if you're on that one, you can like delete it and it goes away. So that is my to-do list sort of for today, but also for tomorrow. I think we're mostly good. The only thing I have to do today is these Risk style door decorations. So we are about done with day 2. This was our second PD day. I'll go ahead and put this in its normal spot. But anyway, very successful day today. We had team meeting. We did some more like full district staff, some individual like subject collaboration, a little bit of time in the room. So it was very busy. It went really fast, but I think we're almost completely ready for tomorrow. What I'm excited about is since I did my online GCN training, I have basically a 3-hour window tomorrow after students leave where I do need to be here so I can take care of more like bigger projects then. For today's like main focus, I wanted to talk about the idea of substance versus fluff, and for us to think a little bit about how much we're spending on each thing. In teaching, we can be very sucked into all of the different decorations on Pinterest and cute little ideas that people are doing, and we can be very tempted to do a lot of these different practices in our classrooms, or try things out, or buy things, or color, design, DIY, whatever it is, all these different things. But I think what we need to really just keep in the back of our head is this particular thing or activity substance, or is it fluff? Because, you know, even at the middle school level, which maybe I feel like there's not as much of this, there's still definitely activities or things that you can set up in your classroom that are more of the fluff parts. Like, yeah, it's a bonus, sure, it's exciting, or it adds a little bit of visual appeal to the room, but is it actually substantial? Is it needed? Is it a necessary part of your day or structure or your classroom, whatever it is? If we have limited energy, limited resources, limited money that we are able to spend on getting a room set up or planning lessons or something like that, we shouldn't be spending a large percentage of that money, time, energy on the fluff. We really need to focus on the prioritizing. And so I think when I consider like myself as a minimalist or like practicing minimalism as a teacher, I think that's an important thing where it comes in. There will always be probably 100 things that you can be doing in your teaching, in your classroom, in your planning. However you want to think about it, there's always going to be so much. And you've got finite resources, finite time, finite energy, finite financial resource in terms of like what you actually can spend on materials and what you should be spending or not spending. Since those things have limits, it's so important to make sure we're prioritizing things. So if you feel like there are moments where you're struggling to keep up, that you're not able to do certain things and something's got to give, really think about that particular activity, item, etc., and figure out if it's going to be adding value to your classroom or adding value to your teaching or adding value to your students. It's real substantial value, because even though all the bells and whistles and fun little additions and fluff is nice, at the end of the day, does it actually matter? Most likely not. So that just, as we get into the start of the year, more into the start of the year, really being realistic. You know, technically tonight, with time perspective, I could say, you know what, I'm gonna spend a couple hours extra tonight, stick around here at school, delay the rest of my evening, spend less time with my husband, or I could say, you know what, I'm going to focus more on the substance. All of the main things that need to be up are up. Things are pretty good in here for tomorrow when I see one group of students for a short time. So I'm good, because I know that later on I've got that time built in. But it's all about prioritizing. It's all about prioritizing, and I think that's an essential skill as an educator, and I think it's something that we can implement at many different stages. So that's kind of our main substance today. I'm gonna tidy up and see you a little bit later. Hello you guys. It is currently almost 2 a.m., but we are about to wrap up for the night. It wasn't that I had to stay up this late, but I was just kind of working ahead on other things, and I think I'm still kind of in that summer mindset, because I typically stayed up till about 2 a.m. in the summer, and obviously during the school year I'm going to try not to do that. I can't say that I don't do that, because I do, but this year at least I'm going to be trying to have a little bit more control over that. But I don't know about you guys, but the night before the first day of school, like where you actually have students, I'm not really in the mindset to sleep that much anyway, just because there's a lot of excitement and energy kind of regarding that day. So that's, I think, probably what I'm feeling right now. But I did get a lot of stuff done. My computer is spazzing out a little bit right now, probably because I was working on it for hours. But anyway, I got everything prepped for tomorrow. I actually only see one group of students tomorrow, so it's not even really like it's a full first day, but it definitely does kind of kick off the start of the school year, and you know, kind of reviewing what I'll be going over with them, but then also just going over the stuff for the rest of the week too, just to be prepared. I know I definitely had an overview plan done. You might have watched a past video I did where I was talking through the first 2 weeks. So I had that general plan, but of course then there's more specific plans. For instance, on Friday, I had planned that we would do a like truths and a lie activity, kind of like the game Two Truths and a Lie, although I wanted to have it be a little bit more comprehensive. So there are 20 facts, or there are 20 statements about me, 10 truths, 10 lies that the students will figure out, and then the tables will turn, they'll do it, and they'll share them out to the class, and if we don't get to all of them, I'll actually collect them and try to do my best guess on them. So I was planning out those specific things. I think one thing I'm realizing from today, it's only been 2 days now of not even teaching, but just like professional development. Even though these 2 days haven't been like normal days, there's been less, I guess, downtime, if you will, but at the same time, you know, you're not actually teaching and planning lessons. I think I tend to be very over-ambitious and more optimistic in terms of what I can personally accomplish in certain periods of time. And when I set my kind of vision or to-do list, like goal type things for this year, I may have been a little over-ambitious. I don't know yet, but I got this like free plan book from the store Lakeshore Learning, but I don't actually use it for like paper planning, but I'm using this as like my to-do list book, just because it seems well organized. So I'm a little crazy. This is for the whole week, but like each day has like a focus. The tasks probably range between like 1 and 3 hours. Saturday and Sunday I have bigger projects. And then I also have, this is my daily routine when I come home from school. So like it's a little much, I know that. A lot of it's very quick stuff, but it's gonna be kind of interesting to just balance, you know, going from a schedule over the summer where you have so much time and then now kind of consolidating it. So it's definitely going to be kind of that game of deciding what makes the cut and what doesn't, and just figuring out like what the best balance is. But it was a good evening, and even though I am up so late, I wasn't just doing the school stuff. With this routine, it's not purely school stuff, and actually I'm trying to, you know, limit my school stuff to mostly my time at school. A lot of it I build in time for the things that I really enjoy doing most, and also things that really add value. So for example, I love spending time with Jake, and we go on about a 2-mile walk every day, or every day that the weather's good. So, you know, that takes about an hour since we're walking fairly slow and just chatting, and it's a really nice time. We're really lucky to have some nice walking trails around some little ponds, lake type things by our apartment. So, you know, doing that, cooking dinner, which I also like doing. So those kind of things are built in, of course. And then also a lot of it's just kind of working on, you know, with video and, you know, with the other 2 businesses, which I love doing. So I don't want to sacrifice any of those as well. So when these late nights happen, technically the late night did not have to happen. And tonight Jake and I ran some errands as well. So I'm amazed by how quickly the day goes, but at the same time, I do really enjoy being up late and just kind of like the calm, peaceful element of it. This year though, I am definitely planning for this, you know, 2 a.m. stuff to not be as much of an occurrence. I just think my body's not really fully into the school year yet, and I'm not really on a more normal person sleep schedule just yet. That's just kind of where we're at for the final update, but I'm so excited for tomorrow. I got a little bit of a taste last year of some of the students I'll have, and yeah, I just can't wait. It's gonna be a really neat experience, I think. And I mean, the first day is always a blur, but I also kind of was reflecting on just the difference of being a first-year teacher at a school, even if it's not your first year teaching in general, and then the second year. And it's just so amazing how much more comfortable I feel now. Not that I've ever felt like terribly uncomfortable, but when you're, you know, new to a certain school, you just kind of have to feel out the situation and figure out kind of like what your role is going to be, where you fit in with things. And having gone through that last year and then having a chance to kind of know more of what I'm doing like within this school context and school environment, it's such a nice feeling, and I'm so relieved about it, because even though, yeah, you know what, I'm still having some late nights here and there, I am just so grateful that I have been through it once, and now that I learned so much from last time, and then also just being able to feel more like assertive and comfortable with kind of what I want my role to be. I'm really happy about that, and I feel like I don't have to kind of just sit on the sidelines and sort of watch other teachers who've been there longer and know kind of what it's like. I get to take more of a leadership role, which I'm also super happy about. So that's kind of where we're at. It's gonna be a good year, I think. But thank you guys for tuning in to today's vlog, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.